I'd like to talk a little music today. If that's cool.
Oh
with you.
yeah, we got a little bit of something to talk about. We might do a bigger podcast about this at some point, like we're with more info.
Yeah. But if you're on our Facebook there, which Brian's not, but if you're on our Facebook, today we've been posting a bunch of stuff about musicians. Well, have we? Yeah. We posted some pretty good clips from YouTube on there, some songs that are pretty interesting.
Oh, are you talking about the meme songs?
Yeah.
Okay.
But earlier today, I believe this morning, I may have done it. I can't remember. I don't know. But I posted some pictures of Robert Johnson. And I encourage anyone listening to go check out Robert Johnson.
Yeah, Robert Johnson's an interesting one. I was on it for a little bit. When we were listening to a lot of documentaries, I went into Robert Johnson.
He's a blues artist. He kind of got a little famous around 1936, 1937.
Yeah. His music's good, by the way.
It's really.
He only made one album though.
Do I say he's black or do I say he's African American? I don't know how this works.
It doesn't matter.
He's a black African American.
Because he's a black man, and that's okay. In my opinion, it's okay to call someone a black man.
Because basically, this guy.
There's nothing wrong with being black.
This guy started rock and roll. If you like rock and roll,
well, he's one of the. He's definitely up there.
Just check him out. But he started. Not only did he start, in my opinion, start rock and roll, but he started two other things that are pretty weird, pretty cool things to look into. The first thing he started was famous musicians selling their soul to the devil.
Yeah, he was the start of the time. No, actually, he wasn't. He wasn't even the start of the timeline. There was a couple people before him.
There were people.
Yeah,
before
there. In retrospect, you know what I'm saying? Like after the fact, like people who died at 27.
Okay, I was just gonna say, am I gonna fuck up the next one because he's a member of the 27 Club too.
Yeah, well, no. There are a couple people who died before him that people suppose they might have sold their soul to the devil. But of course, which is already speculated. Of course, it's selling your soul to the devil. That's already within the realm.
Jamie,
of paranormal.
Why don't you check up the 27 Club? See, that way we can.
Well, here I got a thing right here.
You got 27 Club?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Here I got it.
Yeah, the 27 Club's pretty interesting. It's a lot better than that White Lighter Club that you want to be part of.
Yeah, guys, if you don't know, I don't currently have one because I lost my white lighter. I have a white lighter on me, usually at all times, so that if I die, I have the white lighter on me. And then people think like, wow, what the fuck happened to this guy? You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's part of the White Lighter Club. Well, how old are you? You're 20?
I'm 22.
Oh, wow. So, like, in 5 years, you could be part of the 27 Club, too.
I could.
With a white lighter.
I could. Hopefully
you nail both clubs.
Yeah, hopefully, well, it's not.
And hopefully the devil will present himself about this podcast.
Robert Johnson was the first person for the 27 Club. Now, he's not the first person who is supposedly sold their soul to the devil, though, in terms of music. There's at least one or two people before him. There's a classical musician that came before him that was actually, I don't remember the guy's name. We didn't do any research on this guy, so I don't know who the guy's name was because I remember I watched a video or I looked him up, and there was one person before that, and I was
cool thing about Robert Johnson is if you're really into music, you know about music, dude, you listen to some Robert Johnson, okay. And then you go listen to some Page, listen to some Zeppelin, some AC/DC, Jesus Christ, some Van Halen. The list goes on. I can't even fucking think of everyone. Some Rolling Stones, you name it. I mean,
yeah, a lot of their blues riffs and stuff like that. They do have the Robert Johnson style.
It all goes back to him.
Yeah,
I mean, it's pretty wild. You know, there's a Van Halen song. We were talking about it at work this morning. There's a Van Halen song. I don't know if that's the right name. What I gave you, Ice Cream Man. I don't even.
No, that was the name.
I'm the Ice Cream Man. Stop it when
I won't play the song for copyright issues.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. We got to look into that because I heard other podcasts where they actually play fucking music, dude.
Because they might have asked permission. They may have.
Well, Robert Johnson's fucking dead.
Well, you realize how copyright works, right? If they're dead for a certain amount of time, there's actually a number for if they're dead for a certain amount of time. Their music is royalty free. You can use it whenever.
Yeah.
So like a lot of Beethoven's music, you can
thought-
use Beethoven music, I believe.
Yeah, and I don't think the whole music royalty thing kicked in until like the 40s or 50s though. So I think anything before that's free game.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
And I think that's why a lot of these rock musicians, especially Van Halen with that Ice
Well, they
Cream Man
they
song,
get away with it rather.
they
or not,
jack
yeah.
it. They jack it right from them. Another big one was Eric Clapton. He covered his song "Down at the Crossroads" or "At the
No
Crossroads."
shit.
That's Robert Johnson's song, and that song is actually about going to the crossroads. The story of Robert Johnson selling his soul to the devil. And if you listen to some of his other songs too, he's all about the devil, man. He's all about the devil hunting him down.
Yeah. Well, they also say on a skeptic level, they say that he was a very paranoid person. They say that he was also a bit of a womanizer, that he had a lot of enemies.
Yeah, because he loved the pussy. And the guy never really had a place to stay. He didn't have his own home.
Yeah.
So he was always looking for places to crash. So he usually always up banging someone's fucking wife. He always nails.
That's actually,
someone's wife.
that's something that they suppose. Yeah.
Yeah, and they think that's what kind of killed him.
Well, they think that somebody's husband had killed him.
Well,
yeah.
there's two theories there, that he was poisoned or he had syphilis. But the syphilis thing is the guy never had a fucking doctor. So there was no like medical exam given that this guy had fucking syphilis. But that's one of the theories. Hell, they don't even know where he's buried. There's like 3 or 4
there's
potential sites.
there's 3 sites. I remember I was watching a documentary, and I think they came to a conclusion that he was quote unquote probably buried here, which was I think that was also the same documentary I watched where the guy had his own interviews with the devil. Yeah. The devil. It was like fake. It was half fictional, half documentary. Yeah. It's actually a really dumb documentary, guys. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Keep doing your thing.
So yeah, he. So they say he sold his soul to the devil, and that kind of lore travels through a lot of musicians, even up to today. Jimmy Page was another big one, that he sold his soul to the devil for fame. Simon and Garfunkel. I remember when I was a kid, Saturday Night Live, because Paul Simon was always on fucking Saturday Night Live in like the 80s and shit, the early 80s. They used to make jokes about it all the time on Saturday Night Live, that they sold their soul to the devil for fame.
Yeah.
I think it was Jimmy Page.
All right,
check
guys.
this out. I think it was Jimmy Page.
The documentary I watched, it was called Robert Johnson Crossroad Blues Vost, VOSTFR, and it's the uploader was called Sienna Sine. This documentary was a good documentary. It was very informational, but it's about this guy basically looking for the lost album of Robert.
Yeah.
And it
I
was
remember that.
and
you got me to listen to that. Yeah.
It was a cool documentary until he started talking to the quote unquote the devil.
Yeah.
Which was really dumb. I'm sorry.
Jimmy Page bought Aleister Crowley's song. I think he did.
But guys, yeah, definitely take a look at Robert Johnson, man. Any documentary works really, and just listen to his music. His music's good too.
Dude, his music is, and I didn't think I'd be into his music, but
because it is old. It's old blues.
It's really
it's
old.
30s blues.
Yeah,
so.
You're talking 1930s, man.
And he wasn't the first blues artist by any means, but he was definitely one of the pioneers of popularizing it.
Yeah.
So, because at that point, the Delta blues was already a thing.
House burnt down in 2015.
Yeah. Jamie just told us that fucking Jimmy Page actually purchased Aleister Crowley's home, and Jimmy Page was always accused of selling his soul. Jimmy Page
was that at the same time? Cross reference right here. Was that at the same time when David Bowie was afraid of Jimmy Page because he thought?
I don't know. Does it say what year he bought that home?
Tell me when, and I'll tell you exactly because I'm pretty sure.
They say Jimmy Page was into a lot of black magic too.
Yeah, because David Bowie, deathly afraid of that.
1970.
Yeah,
yes, that was it.
Yeah.
David Bowie was deathly afraid of Jimmy Page, and David Bowie was afraid of the fact that he was into black magic, and he used to think that Jimmy Page was trying to kill him. That's a fun fact. That's a fun fact, guys. Check out Last Podcast on the Left. Pay us $100 now.
Yeah.
Apparently that's how that works. But yeah, Last Podcast on the Left actually did an episode about David Bowie and his ties to a cult. which has to do with Stations to Station. Very good album, but it has to do with a cult, which is confirmed. It's like not even speculated. He did that as like an occult thing, and this was when he was like totally fucking coked out of his mind.
Yeah.
And the last podcast on the left actually did an episode or two about him, and they actually mentioned Jimmy Page. Jimmy Page lived in Aleister Crowley's house, which apparently wasn't that far away.
Yeah.
And that was apparently very scary to David Bowie. So yes, he did live in Aleister Crowley's house, or whatever, his crazy black magic house.
What you say?